Number 42. I got a sex on the beach with extra foam on top for bagpipe. I repeat, a sex on the beach with extra foam on top for bagpipe. Fuck, why is it always the best drinks with the most uncomfortable names? At least give it to me subtly. Quick, think of something cool. I don't remember ordering that. I had a Port Ellen single malt 10-year-old. Right away. Oh, what the fuck? This tastes like ass. Bro, bagpipe, why didn't you just order an Alaskan anal rupture? Yeah, man, just be normal and order a senile striptease. All right, what's going on, guys? Common App Prompt 2 is a pretty nice prompt to answer. Even though a lot of people are likely to pursue this, it's a pretty solid choice. The lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from the experience? The cool thing about this prompt is that you don't actually, and I really do repeat, you do not need a profound topic in order to have a profound takeaway in this. Take a look at the comic that I just made earlier in this video. I wanted a drink, but they all sounded stupid. And so I tried to sound like a real manly man, and, you know, I get humbled. Now, of course, you're probably not going to be writing about alcohol in this essay. You'll choose something more professional, but you get the point. Even a simple everyday topic can be used to introduce something about yourself that might have a lasting positive impression. So just look at this, right? You wanted to order an iced Americano because you're big manly man, right? But you don't like the bitterness. How many cool takeaways do you think you can get from this topic? Just this one example alone, right? Here, I'll give it 10 seconds. All right, got it? Here's what I got. Note that this is just with a few minutes to think. You can have a lot of cool takeaways with just minor and general topics. Ultimately, Common App Prompt 2 is less about having the perfect topic and more about having a great takeaway from whatever topic you choose. It's especially important because a lot of students are going to be using this prompt to play Oppression Olympics. Yeah. Yeah. Don't be thinking I don't see that sneaky shit you guys do. That shit where you're all like, well, that guy had poor parents, but that's nothing, man. I had poor parents and they hated my guts. That's the thing about college maxers, man. It's never enough for them. It's like one guy had a sad trauma story and then another guy one-ups them, and it just keeps happening over and over, like that thing where like the fish gets eaten by another fish and then another one and another one. At that point, it just like the essay process starts to become a competition of who has the biggest tragedy with the most depression points. It's like those dumbass Reddit stories, you know, the ones that are like, my wife cheated on me and then she learned that I was super rich. She tried to get back to me. Like, yeah, you know, like those are kind of believable, right? But then every channel that does that shit has to like ramp up the craziness just to stand out in the algorithm. So you get these like cartoonishly evil stepmoms and unbelievably angelic like Reddit posters. Like the hyperbolization starts getting ridiculous, you know? Like who believes this shit? Wife starts to throw him out on the street and she like shoots his dog and steals his car. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah. Like, no. Then they got to ramp it up with some more crazy shit. Like, oh, turns out it was a vintage car from the 70s that's like actually a national treasure or something. Like, starts like driving this thing through the pedestrian walkway in Times Square. Like, bum, 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 bum. I don't know, man. Maybe she's not the asshole, guys. Maybe OP is the one who's the asshole. Meanwhile, she's just like wiping her windshield of guts and blood like some berserk shit. Like she's still my wife at the end of the day, you know. Maybe I'm the asshole, guys. I should have been the one to give her more attention. Bum 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 bum. Maybe I need to forgive and forget. Bum 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 bum. Just like some endangered animal gets wrapped around the wheels, just like some Junji Ito style shit. Okay, I gotta stop, man. But you know, you get the point, right? Like admissions officers need realism here. If it just becomes this oppression Olympic style like process, it won't be long until they start to sniff out the bullshit. Don't keep trying to come up with something more and more oppressive. Just be natural and think outside the box. That's why analyzing and deconstructing the values of your topic, even if it's something super simple, is so important. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is practically all you need to have a super solid Common App Prompt 2 essay. Just have a really strong takeaway. and you'll stand out from the rest of the gajillion people. In fact, I'm actually going to show you a super generic topic that could apply to just about anyone. Bad group project members. Just about everyone has gone through this. But who would I, Bagpipe, the one-stop shop for college app slop, who's helped students get accepted into top schools, such as but not limited to Harvard, MIT, Duke, Cornell, Dyson, BU, Dartmouth, Penn, Wharton, UCLA, and UC Berkeley, be without also showing you what I mean via actual example. I wanted to actually illustrate this to you just by showing how much of a profound and unique takeaway would have, like, how much of an effect that's actually going to have on an essay. So, I just kind of wrote this out like pretty quickly for you guys. All right. Like this is just an example to show you. So, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're going through an era of burnout. It's spread everywhere. School projects, church attendance, startup projects, nonprofits. Weirdly enough, I've seen people get burnt out of video games. Who'd have thought? It wasn't until my AP US History group project that I started to realize the depth of widespread burnout. My group mates pushed all their responsibilities to me. I don't blame them either. What with the weight of the capitalist substructure pushing them to work toward an uncertain future that doesn't guarantee success? It's hard to stay motivated when the future isn't even certain. That's my way of demonstrating empathy for them. I may be wrong, though. At some point, there may be some people looking to commit labor fraud by receiving an unearned A off my work. This pushes me to an odd position. I must be the one nagging at everyone to fulfill their duties on time. I have to be the annoying seagull cawing every so often. I have to become the quintessential middle manager. I have to be the bad guy. But that's part of growing up. Realizing at times that I have to be annoying sometimes. It's not about always being palatable. It's about tolerating being the bad one. No one wants a nag. It makes my words monotone, kind of like this string of sentences. I'm just droning on and on. Don't you have dishes to do at home? Make sure to catch up on those other tasks you said you'd do 2 weeks ago. Give your family a call. Why'd you forget? Did you change your oil in your car yet? And see what I mean? So, as leader, I nagged my slacker students to get their respective tasks done. But I added a twist. I was funny. Or at least I thought I was. I've come to notice that if I temper my brutal honesty about my group members' inefficiency with humor and jokes, it becomes easier to tolerate. Harken to Oscar Wilde. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. I wasn't perfect, and I'm no stand up comedian, but I think I did a decent job. Look, I'll sound like a nag, but I need your help. I need all hands on deck. I know. You're going through a lot, but I need this too. Asking for help while you're burnt out is shameless. So I apologize. I'm like one of those useless coaches, I'm just waltzing in on you guys already burning a month's worth of calories. Like, you got to put yourself out there, guys. It's not there. You got to put yourself out there. It's like bad out there. You got to put yourself out there. I'm saying all that with my big beer belly just sticking out. And fascinatingly, people laughed. They laughed and were more open to working harder. In fact, I even had people admit that they were just being lazy on their part. It was surreal. I didn't expect that these students would even admit that they were simply being lazy or making excuses, but after tempering my honesty with humor and at times self deprecation, they were more open to simply saying that they were being quite unfair themselves. It made me realize there's much more to management and leadership than I originally thought. Admittedly, I was tempted at times to simply kick other group members out of sheer spite. They're tempting thoughts, and I can admit that, but I don't act on them. Instead, I realize I've still much to learn about communicating well with others and being a great team lead. But I'm certain I'll do much more during the next few years at university. I just got to put myself out there, is what I'd say, with my big beer gut sticking out, of course. By the way, there's like a few mistakes here, but you guys notice how I don't need to sweat the other stuff, like having a great topic to make this essay from generic to kinda okayish and decent within just like an hour or two. Like, look what we did here. Even with something simple, we can demonstrate our empathy for others and their circumstances. We also showed that we're good faith and we're willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. We also showed we could be a little easygoing and take things a little less seriously every once in a while. Not to mention, we're still demonstrating to readers that we've still got much to learn and we're humble enough to recognize that we have room for improvement instead of just using this topic to sound smart. Ultimately, just work on having a strong takeaway. It takes a little bit of work and deconstructing, which is annoying, but take your time. Once you get that out of the way, you already handled most of the work. All right. Have fun, guys. Feel free to reach out via email in the description box below if you need help. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. See ya.